Alan Brazil and Super Ali here. Yesterday in Drive, Andy Goldstein and Dan and Bent discussed Man United captain Bruno Fernandes. The pair disagreed about whether or not Fernandes has been a shining light in United's poor season.
If you're a top player, you elevate your team to a level. You go, this ain't good enough. 8th is not good enough for Manchester United. I'll do more. Every time there's a big game.
There's so much you can do in a team of 11.
In a big game, you tell me when he's put in the performance where you go, do you know what? Against a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a City.
Yeah, but you're talking about a team that's 11 that's much better.
No, but him
how is he going to carry United against City? The gulf between the two is massive.
He could do a bit more. Stop waving your arms around and that.
Because he's frustrated.
No,
honestly, he's so undervalued and underrated.
I don't think he's undervalued. I just don't put him on the same bracket as you. If you look at his numbers in terms of goals since he got to United, you'll get no argument for me.
If we take him out that United side, we drop like a stone.
No, if you take him out United side, you're 8th.
I don't have stats in front of me, Ali, but I tend to agree with Darren. I think he's been disappointing this year. As is a lot of United players.
I would lean towards agreeing with Andy. I think he's...
Would you?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think he's... I'm not happy with all the hands up and all that stuff, but I've watched him closely, and he's probably been the best player, right, which you got to take into account. United haven't been good. I actually think he would be a top player in a top team.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I've just been a little bit disappointed with him this season.
I think he's been, dare I say it, dragged down a little bit. I do. I mean, as I keep saying, I thought the penalty was embarrassing the other night, I've got to say, but I just think the surroundings and everything that's going on around him has maybe brought him down a little bit. I hear what Benty's saying, but I actually think he would be the last one out of the United team that I've watched that you'd point a finger at.
Yeah, it's emerged that Ajax are interested in former Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. Should he be allowed to leave Al-Attifaq this month? By the way, they're struggling big style, his team. Jordan still has 2.5 years remaining in his contract at the side. They're 8th in the Saudi Pro League. They haven't won in 9 games, which is not good. Plus, if you leave there now, Ali, there's a big financial penalty, I'm pretty certain. Let's find out whether there's any truth in the rumours with Dutch football expert Marcel van der Kram. Not spoken for a while. Marcel, good morning.
Good morning, Marcel. How are you?
Good morning, boys. All good.
Great.
You'd rather he was going to PSV though, wouldn't he, Marcel? Being a good Eindhoven boy.
You know me too well, don't you? But can he skate? Can he skate on ice? Because that's all we're doing at the moment here in Holland. It's freezing cold, and all the Dutch have got shaken the clogs off, and we've put our skates on, Ali.
You're on the canals? No way.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking out at it now from my window. As soon as the daylight's there, everybody's back on the skates.
Amazing.
Marcel, tell us if this move would be good for Henderson, good for Ajax, because I know Ajax have picked up a little bit, but the problem in as poor a run as I can remember that top team being in. I mean, effectively they were shocking earlier on, weren't they?
Well, you're spot on that, Ali, because let's first put this. We checked with Ajax yesterday, and indeed, yes, they've had talks. They are very interested in him, and they have hope. They have hope of signing him. Now, that doesn't mean he's actually coming in, because there is a huge financial gap. Ajax understand that he's on about 15 million euros, which is, I think, 13 million pounds or so a year. Well, the best paid player at Ajax is on 5 million a year, which is about 100k a week. Now, that is what they can certainly not pay. But Jordan Henderson has told Ajax that he's prepared to come down a lot in his wages. Now, the problem why Ajax are not sure of getting him actually in the next few days, because it will be decided quite quickly, we understand, is that he has other offers as well. There are 2 Premier League clubs and 1 German Bundesliga club. And that's where Ajax fear is the competition. Maybe they cannot compete with a German club, but they're having a serious go. Whether this is the right move for him, I really wonder, because you're right, Ajax are in the most disgraceful state in the whole of their history. Knocked out of the Dutch Cup by a bunch of amateur students just before Christmas. at some stage they were they were at bottom of the league. Yes, they have climbed up in the table, but their shape and their state is still terrible. It's the worst team in all the decades I have followed Ajax, and I'm not sure whether that will help him towards his place back in the English team.
Well, I was going to say to you, Marcel, he would have to take that into account. And you're obviously a lot closer to it and a lot more knowledgeable than I am about Dutch football. But I agree with you in terms of the worst Dutch team I think I've seen, perhaps going as far back in my lifetime. Why has this happened?
Well, they had, after losing Mark Overmars, who was banned worldwide for a year last night by FIFA over bad behaviour towards the female colleagues at the on the Ajax work floor. They struggled to up in a really good way to sign the right players. Overmars, as a technical director, was absolutely brilliant, together with Van Der Sar, who they also lost, of course, because of his brain hemorrhage in the summer on holiday. So they lost the two key men who made the club big, who earned hundreds of millions in transfers for him, who built a team every year. Well, then they signed Sven Mislintat, who was already a failure at Ajax, at Arsenal earlier in England. And he signed the most ridiculous players we've ever seen arriving at Ajax. Second division France, second division Germany. It really didn't add up, and it made the team so bad. Yeah. It was, for the fans, it was unbelievable. Jacques Swart, who is the legend, the Bobby Charlton of Ajax, he said, "I've never seen anything in my life. We have signed players we would never have signed ever before. 150 million we blew on the most average kind of players." Now, that led to the downfall of this. They sacked the coach. They tried everything. But this season cannot be restored. And this is maybe my point towards Anderson. If you're coming into such a bad team, will it make you look good or will it make you look bad if you want to get a place in the England team?
Marcel, what about, I tell you who's struggling at the moment at Man United is Anthony. Was he frustrating to watch when he was in Holland with Ajax?
He was great to watch. He was a really nice Brazilian player. And he had something, but he had something in the Eredivisie. And when he played against Feyenoord or PSV Eindhoven in the big matches, you could tell that they could wind him up. And if he had a really ferocious fullback against him, he wasn't the best. And that's where was the moment when I said, will he really do it in England? Because he will have a fullback or a defender like that onto him every week. And I don't think he was his first choice for Ten Hag ever, because Ten Hag had a list of players which he wanted for Man United, which he handed in, and he didn't get one of them. This is what I found out just over a year ago when I spoke to Ten Hag. And in the winter, they wanted to make it better, create the team with which he really wanted, with a few add-ons. But there was no money. And this winter, again, there is no money. So I can't see how Ten Hag can improve Man United at this moment.
No, it's going to be tough. Marcel, great to talk
Thanks,
again.
Marcel. Good to talk, friend.
Go and get your skates on, Marcel. We'll talk later. Thank you, Marcel.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.